Hi! Today I'm here to show you all of the paintings in all of my sketchbooks. Hey friends, welcome to this channel. My name is Geetu. I'm an aerospace engineer by profession with an art business as a side hustle and an instructor. On this channel, we explore the little insights from my studio, my working system strategies, my productivity routine with a full-time job and a toddler, my paintings, and much more. I started the sketchbook with the intention of practice, and so these are some practice sketches that I did. I guess it was for buildings, that's what it says. But yeah, I was just trying out different colors using different color palettes. So I think this was between art philosophy and white nights. I just wanted to see how the colors blend together when painting buildings. So this was like really olden times. And here again, I was practicing trees, then the different kinds of skies, and the colors I've mentioned actually are from the art philosophy palettes, which I actually don't use anymore. So I can see how I've mentioned the colors. For example, blackberry, blueberry, these are all the colors in those palettes. And then I started with like illustrations and sketches from my travels. So this is basically macarons. I think we had a plate when we went to Paris, and that's what I wanted to capture in my sketchbook. And this one, as you know, the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. So this was again one of my sketches. I really used to enjoy doing these travel sketches. So this was not actually done at the place, so I came back home and I looked at the pictures in my phone, and then I did this. And I think so this is the Paris series, definitely. So I am not a French person, so the Basilica de Sacré-Cœur, Paris, France. I really love how I've captured the shadows there. And here obviously the Louvre Museum. This was really amazing, the Louvre Museum. I think our legs were tired at the end of the day by walking through the whole of the museum. And these are actually still one of my favorite paintings, because I was trying to get art philosophy's attention. I must be honest with you. So I was posting consistently in Instagram, and we knew that they select like brand ambassadors each year. So this was like way before I got selected, but I wanted to get their attention, and I thought that it must be really cool to actually sketch out their palettes, and that's what I did. So this is the classics palette, and I think this one is the tropicals one. So I just laid them out on my table and I sketched it out in real, and I just really loved it. I mean, it looks so real, isn't it? Although some of my shadows aren't that perfect. For example, this brush shadow is not. And here are some other two palettes. Again, this is the classics palette, which is the one closed over here. So I've got it open in here. It was also great because it was just like swatching the colors. So if you look at these individual pans in there, it's like swatching the colors, but I really enjoyed it. And I can see that I've not put in any shadows or highlights for the individual pans and the colors in it, but I think I just wanted to depict it like the swatching process. So it's just a few brushes, an eraser and a paper clip, which again I placed it on my table and I took a shot and I sketched it. And then I think I got really interested in that series, and I went on and did some more. So this one is the Woodlands palette, and I can't remember which one is this, but it's apple, pumpkin, key lime. I can't remember the name because I've not used it for a really long time. But I kept on doing this series mainly because, like I said, I just wanted to get art philosophy's attention. I don't know if they did or if they chose me before that, because it was way long after that I was selected as their brand ambassador. So I'm not sure if it's because of this or not, but I'm pretty sure it may not be, because they had their ambassador call and then I participated in that and I posted several other paintings for that, and that's when I got selected. So I think, like I said, I got really interested in this series, so then I started making, sketches of more of my art supplies. So these were some of my brushes. I can see my Skoda and the silver brush ones there. And oh yeah, this one was basically, I held some of my brushes in my hand and took a picture of it, and then I sketched it. And like I said, I got so motivated to continue with the series, so then I placed more of my art supplies on my table and started sketching them out. So this is like my sketch ink bottle, that's my masking fluid, my pen, eraser, some pencils, my Posca marker. So I literally enjoyed doing that, and I think that was the end of the series because then I completely shifted to doing something else. So this was some food illustrations. I think I did these when I went to India. So we went back home and I found, like, you know, literally so many things in the kitchen that I wanted to sketch. So I went into like a crazy illustration artist mode at that point of time because I was also trying to grow my Instagram channel and I wanted to post every day. So I kept sketching, you know, things that like anything and everything that I could see. So just a few bananas, and this is the famous Kerala fried fish. So I'm sorry if you are a vegetarian, but Kerala is my home in India, so this is a very famous dish and I literally love it. And this is also something else that's like very special for Kerala. It's like food served on a banana leaf. So you know, the large banana leaf, and you serve a lot of things at the same time. So it's called sadhya, and it's like the meal served in auspicious functions like weddings and such. So it's got rice, a lot of curries, some pickles, bananas, some chips, basically a lot of things. And then this was the memory that I wanted to capture when we went into like a small bakery and had like a chocolate shake and some watermelons on the side. And this is Helloooo. This is like another savory sweet dish again from Kerala. So I wanted to capture that, though it comes in different colors. I mean, it's a fruit-based thing. So, and also, if I remember correctly, I actually went into this bakery and ordered the chocolate shake just so that I could take this picture and paint it. Because as I said, I was in that crazy zone. And then again, this was some pastries that my mom brought home because we don't get these in the UK and we literally love it. So I wanted to like eat everything and anything whenever we go back to Kerala. So that's why she gets all of these things from the bakery. So this is like banana fry. I think this are, I can't remember what these it's I know what it is in my language, but I don't know how to translate that into English. So then we've got like, this is made from lentils, and I think most of these are made from different kinds of lentils, and then you just got puffs and the pastry outside. So these are some samosas, and then some chutney to go with that, some biscuits. And this again is another dish from Kerala. It's my husband's favorite actually. So it's called puttu. I don't know how to say this in English again, but it was really fun to sketch that. But I see I haven't captured any of the shadows, and you know, the shadows here, it's missing the shadows from this side. So it's like a roll. It's not roll, but it's like a cylinder, and this is the curry served along with it. So my husband really loves that. It's his favorite dish from Kerala. And again, this is another one of the dishes from Kerala, not just Kerala. This one I think it goes well for the whole of the south of India. So it's idli and some chutney. Then this one again, jackfruit and some chips and some sweet dishes made out of jackfruit. So my mom, when we were at home, someone had brought in like a huge big jackfruit, and she cut it into little pieces, and then she made chips out of it, which is literally my favorite. So jackfruit chips, if you want to please me, that's what I need. Moving on. Oh, this was actually an illustration that my cousin asked me to do for, like, you know, to put on their engagement card. I don't know if they ever used it, but I think she did use this for sending invites over in WhatsApp. And then I think this was another illustration that I was trying to capture again but didn't complete it. So this was appam and some egg curry, I think. From what I can see, it's a boiled egg split into half from the sketch. Oh my god. And then this was a large plate of crab. I don't know why I painted this, but I think I spotted this in a restaurant. I wasn't eating it, but I saw this on the next table, and then I went home, like researched photograph and tried to paint it. I think it was just because mainly I liked the, you know, the structure of the crab with all the legs, and you know, I thought it would be really fun to sketch that. Then this one was literally done in real time. So I was traveling to Mumbai to meet a friend, and I had a lot of time at the airport. I had like, I think 2.5 hours of delay in the airport. So I just sat there looking out of the window, and then I saw this Indigo flight parked there, and I painted it. I know I did a very bad job of it. This was like very old painting, right? So yeah, I can see I have missed out several things and it doesn't look right to me, but I still adore it because I have this memory inside me where I just sat there, looked at that plane and sketched this one. Then, because I had more time to cut at the airport, I painted this one. So this one was momos and some chutneys. So I bought this from the food stall at the airport, and then I just sketched this in real time sitting there because it was so hot and I normally can't eat that hot food. So I just sat there and painted it. I asked for a cup of water from the same food stall, and they were like, why do you need a cup of water? Because usually people buy like a bottle or something, and I asked, I don't want, you know, fresh, I don't want drinking water. If you can just give me some water from the tap, that would do. And the guy was like, why do you need that water? And her colleague saw my setup at the table where I had set my sketchbook and my painting materials, and she was like, oh, she wants to paint, and then they gave me some water for that. So I remember posting a story about this as well, where, you know, the food was there and I kept the sketchbook in close to it and took a picture. Then I think that was the end of that series, and I did not paint for a long time in the sketchbook because this one was done months later when we went to Toulouse, France, and we were there sitting in a friend's room, and we ordered pizza for the night, and I was like, okay, I need to sketch this. And then I just sat there and sketched this pizza, the pizza slice that we had, and it was amazing again because I remember everything that happened that night just because I was sitting there and painting this, and my husband and his friends and everyone were commenting on my art, so I literally remember that. Then again, this was the same night because I got into that zone of painting. I just looked for pictures online and I just sketched and painted this one. This one was something that I tried to sketch without a pencil sketch or anything, and I tried to like create a background. It didn't work out, it didn't go well. As you can see, my shape is all wonky and it didn't turn out nicely at all. And then this is back home again, and because I really loved the food illustrations that I was trying to do, I think I searched for a picture of a sandwich and did this. So this was from a picture, it's not in real time. So this was from a picture, but I really love the way it's turned out because I managed to capture the shadows within the bread and everything, and I really like how it looks in, you know, as an illustration. Then again, I tried to practice some more with, you know, without sketch paintings. That never turns out well. I don't know why. I think I just need a sketch because I can see the base is not great and the glass is not captured well. Then moving on, I tried again to do some illustrations, and then I can see why I left it because I did not like the way it was turning out, but I think it was all practice sessions and it was worth it because I was enjoying the process, and that's the most important thing, isn't it? Then moving on, this was, I don't know if it was the practice or actually the class lessons, but this was for the food illustration class that I did in Skillshare. So I was teaching how we can make different kinds of glasses, you know, using the symmetry and sketching them. So I sketched out different glasses, got some more here. I think I did a lot of research for different types of glasses as well, you know, cocktail glass, then glass with handle, milkshake glass, and this one had additional ones like, right? Yeah, the tall wine glass, dessert glass. I'm missing the champagne flute here. Okay, that's all right. Anyway, then moving on, I did some sketches again that I wanted to paint, so I just sketched some fruit basket, and I don't know what this was, but I think it's a bowl full of something. And here again, a plate. I can see that's an egg. I don't know what these are. I can't remember that right now. I wish I had finished off these paintings. And that's a cheese on a plate. And I don't know what this does look like a slice of boiled egg though. I don't know. And that's the end. So you can see I've left the pages of the sketchbook blank. This is why I said I need to go back and complete all of these. But there's something at the back here. This, I did it on an aeroplane. So this was the bottle of water that they served, and I just really loved it. And I was in that zone where I was literally painting everything. So this is from that trip to Kerala that we did, and had the sketchbook with me. So I just sat there holding the bottle and sketched on the aeroplane. And I remember it distinctly because the air hostess walked up to me and said, "That's really nice." And then she asked me for my Instagram and everything. I don't know if she ever checked my Instagram because obviously you can't do it on a plane. And then this was again me practicing some thin strokes with my brush for some tree branches. As you can see, I think this was for my Skillshare class again, one of the winter lessons where I wanted to show thin branches and how they can be painted. But these were my practice sessions, I believe. No, these are actually techniques lessons from the class. There you go. This was part of a techniques lesson because you can see I've shown the techniques, the wet on wet, wet on dry, graded wash and everything. I seriously can't even remember which class this is. Oh my god. And I think some just random color testing here done at the back. Yeah, and I tried to do more color testing and ruined 2 pages here. And that's it. That's the end of this sketchbook. Moving on to the next one. This one is Helloooo sketchbook. So I think it is 270 GSM and cold pressed paper. And as you can see, I never really had the idea to paint the first pages of the sketchbook because I always thought that, this page is difficult to paint on. So I never tried that. And so I used to leave it blank, but now I have like so many ideas for first pages of a sketchbook and I can't wait to try them out. I'll probably, do for these ones as well, these sketchbooks, because they're not finished yet. So, and this one is basically my Amsterdam series. I mean, that's what I started with. So this was one of the places in Amsterdam. I didn't paint this in real time or while I was there, but I was trying to create a memory album for myself. So I was going through the pictures in my phone and found the best places, and then I was writing down things that we saw there and what we experienced. So I think I did this right after our trip and when I got back, so the memories were really fresh in my mind and I wanted to capture that quickly. And so the bridges in Amsterdam, the famous buildings. So this is Amsterdam. Where was this again? So this is Amsterdam Centrum, and this is Amstel, and this is the Van Gogh Museum. So this was like a panorama shot that I took and I just loved it. The Van Gogh Museum was literally amazing. I think I have a thing for museums, don't you think so? Anyways, so moving on, again, some famous bridges. So that's the, I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyways, Magerebroek Bridge in Amsterdam. So is this bridge, we saw this in real time. So it kind of splits and lifts it up so that boats can pass through. So it was an amazing watch. Then that's the hotel we stayed in, so that's Motel 1. I just really love the logo of that hotel, so I tried to make, like an aesthetic sketch of it. Just, I, at that point of time, wanted to, make my sketchbook beautiful. And these were like some of the flowers that I spotted on the road. And it was a springtime that we went. Actually, when we went there, we had no idea it was spring. I mean, we didn't realize it was spring, and then we just went there and it was like everything was blooming and we were running around thinking, how could we not realize it was spring? It was so beautiful. And then there's the Rijksmuseum. I don't know if the pronunciations that I'm saying are correct, but I just wanted to capture. So I remember sitting there along the edge of this water area. We sat there for a really long time and we took some amazing pictures there. Then the boat ride, yes, we took a boat along the canals and had a good ride there. Then from Amsterdam we went into Rotterdam. So Rotterdam was like completely different. We didn't expect those kind of buildings. All of those buildings had like really different shapes, unique shapes in fact, and I really loved the way. So this was the Rotterdam Central Station. I don't know what this building was, but it looked really amazing from the outside, so I wanted to capture that. And of course, that's the end of the series. I don't know why I didn't pursue it. I was trying to start with another sketch here, I can see that. And then I also left a blank space here so that I can finish that off, but never did. And then this was back again in Toulouse. So remember I showed the pizza painting from the other sketchbook. So I had taken this sketchbook along with me as well. And this was the road to that hostel where our friends lived. And I just wanted to capture it. It was just a beautiful scene. So this I painted in that room, and then I came over to the place next day again just to capture a picture of it. So I don't know if I still have the picture, but yeah, it was really beautiful. So I took several pictures of this place. I really couldn't sit there and paint because when we went to Toulouse it was in November and it was really cold, so there's no way I was gonna sit there and paint in that cold. And then this was Basilique Saint-Sernin de Toulouse. So this one was real time. So as I said, I didn't think that I could sit there and paint, but it was a very sunny day. And even though it was cold, we had the sun shining brightly on us. And so you can see I've made the shadows as well. So this was made in real time. And that's the end of the Toulouse series again, and I literally stepped away from my travel illustrations and moved on to some other things. I think I kept the sketchbook long and did not paint anything on it, and then I felt guilty that I was not using it anymore, so I went back to the sketchbook, picked it up and painted some usual landscapes of mine. So this was a Northern Lights landscape, and I can see that I did not get the blending right here. But these are literally my practice sessions and studies. I love the way how I am able to visualize my progress in the sketchbook. Then there's a beach scene, and I think I made these ones for my Instagram. This one was just a random study of pine trees. Oops, I missed a page. And again, some sketchbook studies. So I remember this. Okay, so this was actually for a Skillshare class that never went out. I didn't shoot it, but I was practicing the technique of, you know, where you just pour the paint on and then you let it move on so that it creates the shapes on its own. And then I created just random silhouettes on the top. So I think I wanted to name that class something about backgrounds, so like creating stunning backgrounds or something like that. I never did it, so this was like long back. It was right after my first or second class and I wanted to do it, but I never did it. I don't know why. I just skipped it. So these were all practice sessions for that. So this one, you can see I just added some silhouettes on the top up till this one. And this was again me practicing some clouds, I guess, and trying a different mix of color combinations. I wanted to try a sunset scene. And here again, I went back into some of my landscapes. I think these are just random paintings that I did. Then another one. So I just wanted to, you know, like try different spacing on my sketchbook. So like a whole taking half the page or maybe like 3/4 of a page, etc. The same thing here. I could see how much I've grown from all of these landscapes. Then this was again another mountainscape. So I think I tried to make this as a continuous mountainscape but with different color tones. So I used a large masking tape, hence the large gap between the two. Then this one, again, after this, I hadn't used my sketchbook for a really long time, and then I picked it up after ages to paint a gouache painting. So this one is my first ever gouache painting. So I'm really proud of it because I had never tried gouache before, and I didn't actually like the medium when I was doing random blending exercises. And then one day I just picked up the book, I just picked up my gouache paints and said, okay, I'm gonna do this, I am gonna make it. And I just sat there and painted, and look how it turned out. So I literally love this one. And that's it again. So because it took a long time to paint this one, I didn't use gouache for a long time after that, and left the sketchbook blank. I don't know if there's anything at the end. Let's have a look. This is just some masking fluid exercise, I believe. I can see it's a masking fluid edge. I can't remember what this was for, but definitely it's a masking fluid thing. Alright, so that's the end of this sketchbook, and let's move on to the next one. The next sketchbook I want to go through is this one. I think this one is Etcher Sketchbook, so they sent me their perfect sketchbook for trying out, and I really love the pages because it's 300 GSM and 100% cotton paper. So I really love it because it was the kind of paper that I used to do watercolors on. So I enjoyed painting in this sketchbook, but even this one is not complete. And let's see. So I tried my usual sunset landscape on this one. I really love this. I think I had made a video of this in Instagram, just some snippets of the process. And then I went back again into creating some random things. This was a sky practice that I did, some clouds and skies. I think these were actually the reference images that I had shared for my 100-day project, the first 100-day project class in Skillshare. And these are some random paintings that again I did for creating reels on Instagram. I don't remember if reels had started by then, but these were definitely videos on Instagram. So some planet stuff. I really love this painting of mine. And then again some galaxies. Now I remember, I wanted to dedicate the sketchbook for galaxies and paintings as such, and I did a series, and then you'll see me again drifting away. So this is again galaxies and night skies, so you can see. And again, I loved this one as well, especially because of the colors I've used. These are not my go-to colors. This was actually done using the Viviva colors, so I love the colors. And also the way I've done this, I just love that light shining through. And then again, some more galaxy paintings. You can see there's been some accident where the paint spilled over. I think it's from a different painting. I can't remember where. So again, some of my galaxy paintings, another ones again. So I think these are all reels in Instagram. Definitely, I made it for reels. And another one again, a bit of a sky practice, a bit of pine trees one. I don't actually like this one, but I still posted it nevertheless because I just wanted something to post. Then some lightning scenes, more galaxies. This galaxy part had bled into that region even though I had used a tape. Again, this is a place where it bled out this color. I can see that. So again, some skies practice, and this was for my Atmos class. I was practicing the skies for the Atmos class. And this one is completely different. So up until this point is where I used to do skies and galaxies and night skies in the sketchbook, and then I just left it and never returned back to it. And then once again, when I wanted to do some practice sessions and I realized that sketchbooks aren't supposed to be reserved for one special topic, I got back to this one and I took it to practice. So these are people sketches that I did with my watercolors, and it was using a very special technique. So I had attended this workshop by Alvaro Castagne in UK here, in Shropshire. So it was really amazing 2 days. It was a 3-day workshop, but I missed the first day because my son got ill. So those 2 days were literally amazing, and he showed us the simple technique on how to paint people or how you can practice that. So these are like 30-second sketches. You make people in 30 seconds. So that's what he showed us, and he asked us to practice as much as you can, and that you'll get better. So this was the first one I made, and you can see how bad that is. The underlying thing is another painting that was there. I just painted over on top of it. But you can see the second one and how much improvement I've had in that 30 seconds after the first one. I just realized what were the mistakes that I was doing, and I made it again. And then I went on and on and on and did it again and again. I just love the way it turned out. So these are not like real people that you're supposed to be painting on a large scale. These are the people that you're supposed to put into, you know, the paintings with buildings on them. So when you've got large high-rise buildings and you're painting people, you don't need to paint them in detail. You just put, you know, these things. So imagine these things are supposed to be like this small. So that's what he was telling us. And or maybe even if it's large, then you're painting on a very large piece of paper. And so then the details on these people's faces do not matter. So I kept on practicing that for some more time. And then this was, again, me trying out a color palette, I guess. Yeah, so I was just trying out a different color palette to paint a cityscape scene. And again, that's the end of this sketchbook. There's nothing at the back, but I'm pretty sure I had done one painting. Ah, yes, there it is. So this was a live session that I did for Etcher, the people who gave me the sketchbook. So this painting was made during that session. So again, I really love painting northern lights, and you can see how it's turned out. It's just beautiful to paint those lights, right? You know, see the light and the depth in the sky. I just love it. Now let's move on to the next sketchbook. This is the one probably that I've painted the least on, because I think I wanted it to be dedicated to food illustrations, and when I never got back to it, I didn't complete it. But here you go. You can see this is one of my favorite illustrations, actually. I mean, all of the paintings in the sketchbook, the illustrations in the sketchbook. So small fruit bowls, a glass of, I don't know what it is, but it looks very delicious. Then a small custard and a piece of cake. This one was part of my Skillshare class. Oh yes, and that's why I love this one. So this is my food illustration Skillshare class. I painted it on Sketchbook because I actually wanted to reserve the sketchbook for food illustrations, like I said. So this one was painted from a real thing. I went to the store and bought a cupcake and a little piece of cake. I placed it on my table on a plate, and then I did it in real time in the class, and I explained every step to do it as well. Then these are part of the Skillshare class as well, painting the chocolate shake and this juice as well. I really love how I've captured the shadows, highlights and everything. I am super happy with these. I've never painted like these again, I think. I mean, food illustrations. And this is also part of the class. It was a waffle, and I really love how I've captured the depth. Can you see the holes of the waffle? They're like really there, isn't it? So I love this one. This one was meant to be a part of the class as well, but I think I took it out because it was like literally long. So I skipped it, and then I posted a video to Instagram instead. Then these are my other sketches that I just did for myself. Again, some kind of drink, a lemon tart cake. And that's the end of it. I did make a lot of sketches again for painting. This was, I think, a nice jar of some drinks with some fruits in it. And this was another kind of custard. And again, a piece of cake, another glass. I think I just made sketches first, and I thought that I'll go back to it later on, but as you can see, I never did. And here again, I made one more and never went back to it. And see, precious sketchbook wasted. And as I said, this is the least that I have painted on. Moving on to the larger one. So this is again Helloooo sketchbook. So the other one was the A5 size, and this is the A4 size. So it's the larger one. I really love the sketchbook as well. And obviously, first page is blank. then I started with some sketches again. So I think this was again supposed to be a travel series sketchbook. I wanted a larger format one. I guess I wasn't happy with a smaller one, I don't know, but in my mind I thought, okay, I need to be making these sketches in a larger one. And then I just went ahead and bought these. Bought these again and again. I keep buying new sketchbooks even when I haven't completed the older ones. Okay, so this was me trying to capture my travel from London to Cochin in Kerala. So that's the Heathrow Airport, the British Airways flight. This is a Gulf Air flight that we traveled in. So this is not the flight that we traveled in because obviously I'm inside it, but this I spotted another Gulf Air and I took a picture of it and then I painted that one. This is not in real time. I think I did it either when I got back here or when I was in India. I don't remember when I did it. Maybe next few pages might give me an idea. Okay, definitely I did it in Kerala, in my home, because this is Cochin International Airport and I painted this one. I love the way I've captured the perspective here. So I did know about perspective then, thank God. And this is the solar panel field they have. So Cochin International Airport is the only airport in the whole world that is completely powered by solar panels. So I wanted to capture that. We can't get into the field actually, but we can see it from the sky. So I think I took this image from Google and I just captured it in my sketchbook just as to, you know, depict what this airport actually is. Then moving on, I wanted to show myself that hey, I've reached Kerala, and so in my sketchbook I wanted to put some important things or, you know, some art form specific to Kerala, so that's why I put this in. So it's like this is Kathakali dancers. It's one of the dance forms in Kerala. Okay, I'm not boasting about Kerala in this one. This is my thought process when I was painting this, that I wanted to capture, you know, things about Kerala in there. It's Mohiniyattam dancer, so this is another dance form. I never thought I could paint a face. It's not perfect, but at least I didn't screw it up. Then this is the apartment where we used to live. So it's Skyline Riverdale. We used to live there. It's a series of apartment complex and my mother used to live there. So that's where our home is. So the view from the balcony is what I captured. It didn't turn out well at all because from the balcony, it's overlooking a canal and some buildings and a lot of green. I tried to capture it, but it didn't turn out the way I expected it to be. But you still get the point, right? Then moving on, again, I think I wanted to capture a lot of things from Kerala. So this is again one of my favorites. So this is the decorated elephant. So in Kerala, we have these temple festivals where elephants are decorated and celebrated. So I really love it. So it's kind of like these. You have like 15 or 9 elephants together decorated, and this one is actually the temple, one of the temple. I don't know, I think I just wanted to fit in a pencil sketch in there, so that's why I did that. Then these are some of the transport that you only see in Kerala or specifically India. So that's why, because you don't see these kind of things here in the UK. So I wanted to put this in my sketchbook. I don't know why I gave this name. So this is Talatil, maybe something that I saw on the road. It's not in real time. I think I took a photograph of this and then I painted. And then these two are the KSRTC buses. So KSRTC is Kerala State Road Transport Corporation. So this one is the double-decker one, and this one is the bus that runs through the city. So Tirukochi means it's runs through the Kochi city. And then this is an auto, we call it auto rickshaw. So it's it's a small 3-wheeler vehicle where, you know, you can go to closed places, and it costs like literally nothing if you don't have like a vehicle of your own. And sometimes even if you do, it's better to travel in these because they take you through all the little routes and escape the traffic. So I named these Tintamon, so it's kind of like a funny character, maybe like Mr. Bean. So I wanted it to be funny, and so that's why I captured that. Then this is Munnar. So while we were there in Kerala, we went on a trip to Munnar. So it's a hill station where you've got these massive tea plantation, and I wanted to capture that. Again, this is not painted in real time. I just took a picture and I painted when I reached back home. I think this one was my idea of how a sunset at Munnar would look like, you know, with all those mountain ranges. I like the color scheme, but I think it's too much of a contrast, and this does not look real. Then this is again Fort Cochin. So this is like a place where you've got these Chinese fishing nets. So it's really amazing to see how these perform. So Cochin is famous for these Chinese fishing nets, so that's why I wanted to put that in as well. And we come to an end. So again, I tried to capture some of these. So this is like the Bolgati Palace and the lake view from there. This is Marine Drive, and this is, I think, another building in Fort Cochin. I wanted to capture all of these and make beautiful sketches like these ones, but either I ran out of time or something happened that time and I didn't complete it. So we'll see what I did with the sketchbook next. So yeah, I completely stopped that one, that series. But this was again in Kerala, and I painted this in real time. I remember this. So this was Trivandrum, my husband's hometown, and we were like there in a beach. I can't remember which beach was this, but yeah, so I painted this in real time, sitting there and did that. Then that's the end of the India or the Kerala series. And then moving on, this was after I came back to the UK. I've put a date there because at this one I actually did paint it in real time. So this was, I think, somewhere close to us where we live right now. We went for a picnic and I sat there and painted while my husband and my sister played frisbee. And this one was Lake District. I tried to do a painting sitting there at Lake District. This is the scene that I had put in some of my videos before. But what happened was it started to rain. And as you can see, the painting got all ruined because you can see all of these water droplets. They just spread all around, spread my paint around, and I had to immediately close everything and run off. So that's what happened. So I couldn't complete this painting at all. And that's the end of the sketchbook. As you can see, I haven't done anything again, neither on the last. So let me move on to the next one. This is another one of the sketchbooks that were sent over by Etcher. So it's again the perfect sketchbook in the A4 format, A4 landscape format. So it's artist grade, 100% cotton paper, 300 GSM, and it's got 44 pages. So I really love the sketchbook, just like I said, because it's the kind of paper that I usually do my watercolor paintings on. And hey, I actually painted the first page of this one. Maybe I should have left it blank because I could design something, but now I've lost that opportunity. So this was a practice session I did for the workshop for Etcher. So they wanted me to do a workshop after that live session. So this is the workshop one. So this was my practice session, and this is what I painted for the workshop. Let me see if there's any difference. There's actually a lot of difference. I improved in this one. I love the way it's turned out. So this was the Etcher workshop. Then moving on, these are my practice sessions for my aqua class in Skillshare. So I have a class where there's 30 paintings relating to water, ocean, waves, seas, beaches, everything relating to water. So I practiced a lot before that, not just in these sketchbooks. I practiced in other sheets of paper as well, but then I put it into this sketchbook as well because I wanted to capture my practice session. So that's why I put into here, and I tend to lose my papers. So that's why I put some of my practices in here. As you can see, I've tried out different colors for painting water, and this one was the first class project in that class. So it's like capturing the wave. And despite this practice session, I painted that class project 5 times to get it right. Can you believe that? Then this was class project 2. I can't remember the number of this one, but this is another of the class project, and I love how it's turned out. I did use a masking fluid for this one, as you can see by these sharp lines. And moving on, again, this there was a sunset wave scene, some poles in water. Then this is a boat in water, a paper boat. I love the way this has turned out. Even the class project for this was amazing. Then some more paintings. These are all practice sessions, by the way, but I did record this so that I can put it as reels to Instagram. So when you're posting to Instagram, you have this feeling that, you know, you need to keep creating content. So even if I'm practicing, I used to shoot all of that so that I could just create reels, and that's what. So these are like underwater stones and ripples, some wave, a cliff scene. And this is an underwater one, which didn't turn out right. You can see how the brown bled through and didn't turn out well. And then that's the aqua class practice sessions in the sketchbook, because after that I published my class, and then I went and later on painted this. I think I really fell in love with this image and I wanted to put this in my sketchbook. Just love the way the ripples and the reflection has turned out. So the aqua class wasn't complete yet. So this was, I think, in between the shooting process. So I shot that class in like a matter of 60 days, I think, because I was on maternity leave and I had a little tiny baby with me. So I only got to do like one painting a day, or maybe like half a painting in a day, and I had to do the editing and all of that as well. So this was the Antarctica part of that class. There was one painting which was to paint an iceberg in Antarctica, and I was testing my color schemes for that. So I had the reference image and I wanted to see which was the best color scheme, so I tried different ones to see which one would suit it best. And as you can see, I tried different color combinations for that, and eventually I think I went for either this one or this one, I can't remember, but it definitely does involve violet. That's the only thing I remember. Then don't even look at this one. This is a very, very failed cityscape painting. I was actually trying out a new technique. So it's like, you know, just you put in the first wash of colors, the underlying colors. You can see the first wash just spread out a lot, and then you put it in the second wash of color to create the buildings, and it turned out so ugly. Can you see how it's turned out? It's very bad. I'll just quickly turn it away. Oh no, this is going on and on again. So again, this is some of my worst practice sessions. This is like a cityscape painting that I tried again, not cityscape, but like some buildings, and I wanted to try color combinations on them. So that's why me trying out different colors. I think I was trying to decide, you know, a unique color palette for myself. So I've seen artists, they have like unique color palette for themselves, and I wanted to build mine. So I was trying out different combinations, especially for cityscape paintings. You need to have that colors. So I was trying out which colors go together well, and I still haven't found it out. So that's that. Then this one was a small Christmas carousel scene that I tried to paint in completely wet format. I love the way it's turned out, because this was like a very quick sketch in 5 minutes, and it turned out like this. So I'm pretty sure that if I had painted this in a big scale and took my time to do it, it would have turned out really well. And so got lots of empty pages again in the sketchbook. But over here is something that I'm really proud of. I mean, something that I really like. This is Alvaro's signature, where he signed my sketchbook when I went for the workshop. So I really love that. So it's very proud and special moment for me, because I met him. Moving on to the smaller sketchbooks now. So this one is again Arteza sketchbook. So it's a square, the smaller version of that food illustration, larger one that I showed. So I haven't done much in this one either. So you can see it's only up to this that I have filled, and the rest all are empty. But I just wanted to show you what's going on in here, because it's really funny. So I started this out as a gouache sketchbook, and I wanted to go on and do, you know, lots of gouache paintings in this. And I started with it, and I did 1, 2 paintings, and the end. So I don't know why I left that again. So you know what, my husband actually tells me that I am a person who starts a lot of things and never completes anything. So maybe it's true what he says, because there are several of my projects that's just begun and then I left it midway, and all of these sketchbooks are actually proof of it, isn't it? So if you're wondering what this is, so I read somewhere that, you know, when babies are born, they can't see color, or that, you know, these visually appealing images are really good for their eyes, and I wanted to test it out. So before I went ahead and purchased a set of these cards from Amazon, I wanted to test it, and I thought, I'm an artist, I can do it myself. And then I painted this. So I made all of this myself. So just made few of these visual cards so that I can show it to my baby, and if he shows interest, then I'll go ahead and buy it on Amazon. So that's what I did. So I think it just took me like 5 minutes to paint each of these, because it's just really simple, right? So you can see I just tried out different patterns that I downloaded from the internet, and I also tried some colorful ones. But I first thought that I will give this to my baby, but then I realized that it's paint, and what if he, like, you know, licks it or touches it? So then I had to like just show him and make sure that he is interested in it, and I really loved it. So if you're wondering, this tea actually is, this is like one of the shelves in our bedroom. So our bedroom wall is this steel color, and there's this shelf and the L bracket which is attached to it. So my son really loves that corner, he keeps staring at that L bracket, so I wanted to create that as a memory for him. And then here's more of those things that I made. And as soon as I saw that he was really interested in all of these, we went ahead and purchased those cards. So clearly that's the end of this sketchbook, and nothing at the end as well. And then I started with this tiny sketchbook as well, which I wanted to dedicate it for gouache. So I did this long back. I recorded some paintings, some tutorials for YouTube, and I thought that I'll do it like a 30 days of gouache painting and put it on YouTube. So I think I did like 4 or 5 and stopped it. Again, another unfinished project. Not surprising, right? So here, these are some of my gouache paintings. So I still have the tutorials for these gouache paintings with me. So let me know if you'd like me to upload them to YouTube here in the comments down below. So here, these are simple ones, and I actually wanted to, like, you know, just some things that you can relax and paint along with me. That was my intention for these paintings. So you can see just small, cute, small paintings. You've already seen this one. I put the tutorial for this one in the last sketchbook video, the one where I'm saying that I'm moving to sketchbooks. And then I've got some more. Oh, I did paint more than 5. Okay, so which means I have the tutorial for all of these. And here, another one. So these are just different gouache paintings. Like I said, I was trying to create 30 gouache paintings and never completed it. I'm surprised. This is more than even 10. That's great, which means I have all of these. I have the tutorial for all of these. Do let me know in the comments down below if you would like to have these paint along with me gouache sessions here in YouTube. Ah, I love this one. This is like, you know, some different kind of technique that I had tried out. Oh, and this one is my favorite because I just love the way the field turned out. And this one as well. I did do a lot, I think, and that's the last of it because this one didn't turn out as I had expected. I did not like the way this one turned out. I think I used a larger brush to create these flowers, the cherry blossoms, so I didn't like the way it turned out, and that was the end of my motivation for this series. Oh, I should really get back to it, but do let me know if you would like to have tutorials for these, and also if you'd like me to complete theirs and put all of those tutorials in YouTube. lastly, I have two more sketchbooks here, which are actually accordion sketchbooks, and I made them myself. So I cut out sheets of paper and then made the cover and everything on my own. So that's why these two look exactly similar. I believe you already probably seen the content of this one because it's already uploaded as a video in YouTube. I mean, if you've been here before in my channel, then you might have seen it. But I'll definitely show you both of them. So let's start with this one. So this is my Trivandrum series sketchbook, where I started out by sketching Trivandrum. This is again a place in Kerala. It's my husband's hometown, like I've already said. So this is what I wanted to capture. So what's special about this place is that it's Palayam Trivandrum, where it's the only place in the whole world where a mosque, a church, and a temple sits together within like 100 meters of each other. It is a really proud place, I would say. So that's why I love that. So that's what I tried to capture. So this is the Juma Masjid, this is St. Joseph's Metropolitan Cathedral, and this is Sri Shakti Vinayaka Temple, you can see. So all these three sit together at Palayam Trivandrum. Then moving on, I tried to sketch some of the other buildings in Trivandrum. So I was just trying to do like a series in Trivandrum. So this is the Central Library. I just love the red color of that building. So this is again not in real time. I just googled pictures of these famous places in Trivandrum and then I made it. But this one is really special. This is Mascot Hotel, KTDC Mascot Hotel, because this is the place where we had our wedding reception. So 13th May 2018, that's where me and my husband, we had our wedding reception here at this hotel. So it was literally amazing. So I just wanted to put that here in my sketchbook. Then this one is the museum. So this is the entrance to the museum. I just loved that gate and I wanted to capture that. And this one, this little statue, or I don't know, what do you call it? This is actually there at the entrance to the aquarium within the museum. So I tried to capture that as well. And it's not the end, because we've got the other side as well. So here, moving on, again, I tried to capture. So this is Tambanur railway station. So this is like the main central railway station. And I did another auto rickshaw here, and I actually named it Sundari, meaning beautiful. So I wrote this in my language here at the name at the back of the auto. And this one here is the bus terminal, which is right next to the railway station. So again, few buses there. Then this is a really famous temple. So it's the Padmanabha Swami temple, which is like really famous temple. Google it and you'll understand why it's famous. Okay, so this is what I painted, and I'll show you something. Okay, look at the people. There's no perspective. Their heads are not in the same line, and trust me, this road is not at an inclination. So clearly I didn't know about the perspective of painting people then, and I did it wrong. But one could assume that this road is at an inclination and that's why their heights are different, right? And this is the Shankamugam beach, which is not like this anymore because the waters have actually come over. I mean, the sea has risen and the tide has come all the way up to the road, so it doesn't look like this anymore. But I think it's good that I've captured it in my sketchbook, you know. And that's the end of the Trivandrum book. Now the other book that I have, like I said, it's really interesting and it's one of my favorite topics, and you might have already seen it, but if not, here you go. So this is, I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. So I wanted to create like a travel sketchbook for Harry. So like, what would Harry do if he was designing these sketchbooks? So that's what I tried to do in here, and I created that. So Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I really wanted to try out the other 6 books as well, and I never did it. Again, another one of the unfinished project. So it's the first part, obviously, where Harry gets his birthday cake and his letter from Hogwarts, and then he goes into the leaky cauldron with Harry, goes to the Diagon Alley, gets his wand from Ollivander's, and he's off to Hogwarts in the Hogwarts Express. And he's reached the Hogwarts Castle. Then the candles, they're only bewitched to look like the night sky, says Hermione. Then we have the Sorting Hat and the place where Dumbledore stands to announce his things, the 4 houses of Hogwarts. If you're wondering what I've written is, I think it's basically things from the book and maybe what Harry would have written. Like, for example, off to Hogwarts, packed up the trunk with all the spell books and equipment from Diagon Alley and Hedwig. And some of it are like quotes from the movie, and some of it are like things of observation. So this is like the Sorting Hat song. Then yeah, this is the song Let the Feast Begin by Dumbledore. Then the 4 houses, yeah, these are the symbols of the 4 houses. Then the points, the point system where each house earns points. Then you move into the story where the troll comes in, and then moving on to the other side, we have Quidditch. So the Quidditch pitch, the Quidditch box, the Quidditch balls, the snitch, his Nimbus 2000, then through the trapdoor, and Fluffy. So I think I just wanted to, like, you know, mix in different techniques in here. So that's why I put Fluffy in with a pencil sketch, leading the trapdoor, leading to the Philosopher's Stone. Then obviously the chessboard. So here again, I try to do some random styles with my sketches. And finally, he reaches the Mirror of Erised, where he gets the Philosopher's Stone. So Professor Quirrell was housing Voldemort as a parasite, as he had no body of his own. And just some notes here and there. I just loved creating this. So this sketchbook is my most favorite of all, and you obviously know why. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you loved all my paintings and the reasoning behind why I painted them. So let's hope that I finish all of these sketchbooks pretty soon and have another sketchbook tour video for you. Until then, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye bye.